Okay, it's the end of September, it's 28th. I've just brought 10 buckets of apples down to go into these two Daleks to make some acidic compost. Let's get to the end of the plot. We might as well start from there. So grass has been trimmed and trimmed along this edge, but the curb edgings are still laying on the flat. I haven't got round to doing that yet. What I have managed to do is get the ones in along between the plots. So they went in last weekend, which gives me an edge to mow to and to trim to. The bindweed has taken over the rhubarb in the corner here and a pile of or offcuts of hawthorn that need cutting up. The two incinerators are full, but this area in front I just need to clear before I do any burning. And having fires on allotments is a contentious issue at the moment. Go into that later on the blog. So lots of buckets of apples from home going in to make the acidic compost. There's all this wood that I inherited here that is now wet, that really I should have ripped up while it was dry so that it could be burnt. Let's just hope we get some dry weather so I can rip it up. So not a lot of change down the bottom end here. I have acquired a few more paving slabs. A couple of the trees have died. Some of the other trees are doing quite well. Most of the timber's now painted for the beds to go in. And we can see how good the Ronseal paint is. Oh, look at that. One coat my arse. It just doesn't happen. I tumble the tumbling composter every time I come down here. The potatoes in buckets are nearly all harvested now. There's still a few to be harvested. And here the greenhouse frame is up. Just going to get away from it so that you can actually see it. But the frame's up. I just need, and the bases, timber base is cut. Just need to clear that area, level it in, fix it down, and then clad it. Right, I'm progressively putting the beds to sleep for winter as they're getting clear. There's a few beetroots in here that need harvesting, not that many. I have a couple of pumpkins. I have a whole lot of butternut squash. There's 4 that I've just harvested and put in the shed. And I thought perhaps I ought to video this before I do too much more. The cucumbers have come to an end, but there's a cucumber there, if you can see him, that's grown over the top, attached itself to the tree, and there's a nice cucumber there, which looks as if it's hanging from the tree, but it's I suppose it is in a way. So that can be picked. I've got a new framework going to be built because this happens too often, and they're just not worth picking. Not when you've got a glut of them, and I end up breaking them up and putting them in the compost. Another pumpkin hiding down here. That's where the pumpkin started to make its way out to the plot next door. What I didn't see in amongst the sweet corn was I've got a tomato plant. So when I cut the sweet corn down, there was a tomato plant and it was with little tomatoes on it, which I didn't sow, which has got to be a self-sower. So, potatoes in those 2 beds have to come up, and the potatoes in the bed behind there has to come up, And in amongst all this foliage is probably some mini white cucumbers and some kiwano. I didn't find the kiwano last time I grew it until I stripped all the foliage, so I'll give that a go. Beans are more or less at the end. I didn't actually grow them, they were self-seeders, and the apples have gone nice and red and things now, so I'll take a few of the apples off that are still okay. But basically the whole lot needs sorting out for winter and putting to bed, and the infrastructure for this lot down here needs sorting out over the winter months, and that's where I am. Okay, I don't know if you can see him. He's there. Beautiful, the robin. Just flown right past me, into the tree. He knows that I'm digging stuff up. I'm about to fill up the compost with some of this. Found all this lot. Actually, there's probably some under here. Only a few around the edges. Okay, let's give them something more to eat. Here's a second Dalek waiting to be filled up with the foliage from the butternut squash. Nice to see lots of worms in the lid and around the side doing what they do best, make compost. Well, the butternut squash all harvested and put on the racks to dry.